Hello YouTube, Dave here again, and I just picked up the brand new board game Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. So this just came out today, the day that I'm recording this, which I believe is October the 6th. And this is a game that's based off of the Betrayal at House on the Hill board game. I don't have that game itself, but I have seen it played on Geek and Sundry's tabletop, and it looks like a really cool game. And I was actually really interested in this. Now in Canada, it retails for, and I don't know how well it's going to show up here, but it retails for $64.99. I think it retails for $50 US, and then I don't think it actually lists the price on the game itself or on the box itself. But I actually ended up paying nothing out of pocket for this. I had a few Magic cards that had some value to them that I decided to trade in. So I traded in my Spell Pierce Invocation, which was just sitting on the shelf. Like I had it on display, but I was never using it. And I have 3 Spell Pierce cards from my Ixalan packs. So if I want to actually put that in a deck, then I've got 3 copies of it that are significantly cheaper. So I traded it in for more than its value when I initially pulled it, so I was happy with that, along with Carnage Tyrant and a few other cards from Amonkhet, just to basically end up getting this for free. And I got rid of some cards that I was never going to use anyway, so that's pretty awesome. So before this video is just going to be an unboxing, and I'll do a full review in the next few days. But I just wanted to kind of show this off. So on the back it says, never split the party unless someone is the traitor. So I think in this game you go through and you play tiles as you go. Like you have a starting area, and as you explore the area, you play down new tiles, and each tile has different things. Like there's events, items, and omens. And I think there's a symbol on some of the omen cards that if you get so many of those symbols, then you go to the scenario, which can be like multiple different scenarios, and it would usually involve someone end up being like a betrayer or a traitor. Hence the words Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. So down here it just says, the city of Baldur's Gate has become twisted by evil. Enter if you dare. With every tile you place, your adventuring party works together to build the city's catacombs and alleys. That is until some horrific evil turns one of you against the others. It's a race for survival as you face an onslaught of fearsome monsters from the Dungeons & Dragons universe like Beholders and Mind Flayers. Already sold. Those are my 2 favorite monsters. Based on the award-winning Betrayal at House on the Hill board game, Betrayal at Baldur's Gate offers 50 brand new scenarios, so that's a lot of replay. Filled with danger and dread, you'll return to Baldur's Gate again and again, only to discover it's never the same adventure twice. So in here we have the rulebook, 2 haunt books, The Traitor's Tome and Secrets of Survival. So once you get to the traitor scenario, I think you have the person who's affected go off and read their own scenario, which has their own victory conditions, and the players read their own. I think that's how it goes anyway. So it's 42 tiles, including 13 building tiles, 14 street tiles, and 15 catacomb tiles, so that's actually pretty cool. An Elf Song Tavern / Inner Chamber / Kitchen start tile. I love the Elf Song Tavern, so it's awesome to see that in there. 1 Catacomb Landing kitchen basement start tile as well. 6 pre-painted plastic adventure figures. Wow, okay. That's actually really cool. I just thought they'd be like basic plastic, like just the flat plastic color. 2 6-sided adventurer cards, 30 plastic clips, 8 dice, 1 turn / damage track, 86 cards, so events, items, omens, and player aids, and 215 tokens. So that is pretty cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just get the plastic off, and I'll show what's in the box here, and I'll try to do this actually all in one take, just so it's less editing. Just want to be careful. It's a little tricky to do this with the camera in the way, because I don't want to damage the box, and I don't want to bump the camera. Like there's one time, I think I tried recording something along these lines, and I ended up like knocking the camera over, and I caught it, luckily, because if I hadn't have, then I probably would be without a camera, and that would suck. But let's get the plastic off here. Alright, the box texture feels pretty similar to a lot of the other D&D board games. There is a little bit of a wrinkle in the corner there, which is unfortunate, but again, I didn't actually pay anything out of pocket for this, so I'm not going to complain. Alright, let's see here. Open it up. And it also has some advertisements here, which is pretty cool. So it advertises Diplomacy, Robo Rally, and the original Betrayal at House on the Hill, which is a game I'd love to get at some point. Just some contact information. And awesome, we got some Dungeons and Dragons related stuff here. So the starter set, Player's Handbook, and Dragon Plus. So that's pretty cool. Now, at this point, whoop. Okay. So at this point, I'm not going to be opening up all these tiles in the video, but these are just a sample of what they look like. So you got the Catacomb Landing, Kitchen Basement, Ambush Alley doesn't sound good, Arcane Retreat. So basically the things that I do know is, like I said, there's different types of cards. So there's, I think, Events and Omens. And so if you flip over so many of these tiles with the omens on them, I think that's when it builds to the scenario that you're actually going to end up playing. So that's basically what you're looking for. That's an omen, so you draw an omen card and resolve its effects. And Ambush Alley has events, which are usually probably some sort of fight. Another thing that I think is awesome, the Beloved Ranger statue. And it says Minsk and Boo were here. So Minsk is probably one of the best characters from the Baldur's Gate computer games, Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. And he was just such an awesome character. I think everybody loved him. And in Murder in Baldur's Gate, the adventure, he had a statue in Baldur's Gate. And the statue actually turned out to be Minsk, and he was just petrified. So something happens. They release a comic, which I don't have yet, unfortunately. I really want to pick it up if I can find a trade for it. But there's some sort of event that happens, and Minsk is freed from the being petrified, and he's now alive and kicking. So that's why the statue is missing. You just have like the footprints of where he was standing, and the little graffiti of Minsk and Boo was here, which is just awesome. And here we got some of the characters, it looks like. So there's Leia Fen Talaber, and she is a Drow warlock, which is cool. And there is Miska Silversong, which is a human bard, and then Alden Pirate, who is a pirate, I don't know how to pronounce that properly, but dwarf fighter. And there's other ones in here as well. I think there's 6. How many players is this for? I might say it on the back here. We'll find out with the miniatures as well. I know I have the number there. So 3 to 6 players. There we go. And so this is just the rule booklet, it looks like, which is pretty cool. And then we've got the Secrets of Survival and the Trader's Tome. So I don't really want to give anything away in these, just because, you know, half the fun is finding out what the scenarios are. But basically, certain things will dictate what trader scenario you go through. I don't know if it's like based off the tile that you end up playing. So let's just have a look here. Oh, sorry, yeah, it's the haunt. Right, okay. Yeah, so I think whenever you get an omen, you roll some dice and you try to get, I think it's below a certain target number. I really don't know a whole lot about this. Okay, yeah, so you're trying to get below a certain number, which is fine. Revealing the haunt, so when a player makes a haunt roll and starts the haunt, that player looks at the haunt chart on the first 2 pages of the Trader's Tome booklet. The chart shows which haunt has been revealed. So I will show just that, I guess. So that's kind of what it looks like there. And when you trigger the haunt, use the chart below to determine which haunt you've triggered, who is the trader based on the triggering omen and tile. So there's a lot to it. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the actual rules or review yet. I want to actually get a chance, hopefully, to give this a try before I do that. But we also have the dice here. So there's 1, 2, 4, so there's 8 dice, and it looks like they're numbered 1, 2, and a blank spot. So each of those numbers or possibilities has 2 faces on the dice. So there's 2 1s, there's 2 2s, and there's 2 blanks. So that's kind of neat. And then we've got our cards here. I was honestly hoping, so there's items, events, and omens. I was actually kind of honestly hoping that these cards were going to be sized like the normal playing cards, so that I could put them in sleeves, but that doesn't look like it's going to be the case, unfortunately. But that's still, pretty cool. And again, I'll show them off in more detail when I actually do the review. And here, we just have some markers. I think these are, I want to say they're slain monster tokens. I'm not quite sure. Let's just actually have a look and see, because this whole game is new to me. I've never actually played the game before. So, game components. Tiles. Maybe it may be a combat thing. I'm pretty sure they are, because the event cards I think are the ones that have an encounter in them. Oh wait, okay. Oh wait, these are these the trackers? Oh, never mind. Sorry, yeah, these are the trackers that you put on the side of the cards. So for your creatures. So to track your might, sanity, knowledge, and speed. So you'd have one like clipped to this, and it must just cover the number that it's on, I guess. But you have your starting numbers, which would be in green. So that's what those are. Okay. Okay, we got the dice. So I guess the last thing here are the miniatures, and they look like they're sized pretty decently. Like these are the size of like D&D minis. Unfortunately, the wizard's staff is a little bit flaccid there, but might be able to fix that. So, but they look pretty close to the standard size of D&D minis. Like the dwarf is on a slightly smaller base, but that's fine. What do we have here? Oh, they don't have their names on the bottom of the base. But so we saw the drow, the dwarf, and the bard, which is her there. So in addition, we also have, it looks like a wizard, probably a half-orc paladin. So the wizard, half-orc paladin, there's our bard, there's our dwarf, and that's got to be a halfling thief, I would think. And our drow warlock, and that's actually, they're actually pretty cool. I mean, they're better than I was expecting, and the paint jobs are, pretty basic, especially on like the half-orc paladin here. Like there's only a few colors used on each, like the wizard with the with the red robe, but it's still, these still actually look really cool, and they're painted. So that is something that I really wasn't expecting. I was thinking they'd just be like regular, just like most of the D&D board games, just have them as like just the color of plastic that they were molded in. So that's actually pretty cool. That is neat. I like that quite a bit. So now again, there's I'll do a full review once I've had a chance to hopefully actually get to play the game. The last thing I just want to look at is the insert itself. Because this insert actually looks like it'll do a decent job of holding things in them. So I think you'd have like your tile cards going here. The cards, of course, the event item and stuff goes there. You could probably put the miniatures and stuff in there, some of the tokens, or you could have a bunch of the tokens in here. with the character cards, or the character things. Looks like they'd go in this spot here. So the actual inside tray looks like it'll hopefully hold everything. The only thing that I would have liked would have been the inclusion of some resealable little plastic bags that you could put like the tokens and that stuff into. Just because I always like to have, you know, stuff like that to keep things kind of organized if I can. But at the same time, you know, I think this will still do, you know, a pretty decent job holding everything, which is great. I like that quite a bit. So yeah, that's just basically what the inside of the box looks like, the contents. You can also see some of the various, you know, tokens and stuff there. So anyway, so that's just the basic bare bones unboxing. And yeah, so I'm hoping that potentially this weekend I might get an opportunity to get to play this, hopefully. I'm not 100% on that yet. But if I can, then it'll be a lot easier to do a review having actually played at least a scenario or two. But I just wanted to do, like I said, the unboxing just so you can kind of see what comes in here. So far, I think this is going to be a really fun game, and I'm really impressed actually by the miniatures. I think, you know, they're pretty cool to have painted and everything. You know, they're basic paint jobs, but it's still cool to actually have painted miniatures in the board game and not have it cost, you know, like $150 to get it. So anyway, that's my unboxing on Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. And if anybody watching this actually has the game or had a chance to play it, let me know what your experiences were like. You know, what you thought of the game, because I'd be interested to see how other people perceive it. And I'm looking forward to giving this a play. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and be sure to come back next week for the full review.